Right now, there's a voice in your head commenting on everything, judging, analyzing, worrying. But what if that's not the only voice available to you? There's a deeper awareness that's been speaking all along, and we'll explore how to hear it through a simple guided meditation at the end. This lesson teaches that there are actually two different parts of your mind operating simultaneously, one that's constantly distracted and reactive to the world around you, and another deeper part that remains calm and connected to something larger than your daily stress. The practice is learning to tune into that quieter, steadier voice that's always been there beneath the mental noise. We spend most of our days listening to the wrong radio station. Your mind is like a house with two radio stations playing at once. One station is static-filled emergency broadcasts, traffic alerts, breaking news, endless commentary on everything wrong. The other is a clear, steady signal playing something that actually nourishes you. Most people have been listening to the static so long they've forgotten the other station exists. But it's always been there, broadcasting on a frequency you can tune into anytime. You're sitting at your desk when that email lands, the one where your colleague's tone feels slightly off. Immediately, your mind starts writing the story. They're annoyed with me. Did I mess something up? I should probably respond right away and explain myself. Your heart rate picks up as you craft 3 different responses in your head. This is the static station in full volume, the part of your mind that's been trained to scan for threats, to analyze every interaction for hidden meanings, to constantly prepare defenses against imagined attacks. It feels so real, so urgent. Your shoulders tense as you reread the email for the 3rd time, searching for clues about what you did wrong. But then something shifts. You notice you're doing this, notice the story-making machine running its program. And in that moment of noticing, there's suddenly space, a quieter awareness that wasn't caught up in the drama, just watching it unfold with curious calm. This is the other station trying to get through, the one that's been broadcasting peace this whole time while you've been tuned to the emergency channel. Once you start seeing this pattern, you can't unsee it. That frantic mental voice, the one that kept you awake at 3 a.m. rehearsing conversations, the one that narrates every possible worst-case scenario during your commute, that's just one frequency your mind can tune into. It's not the only option. And here's the revelation: it's not even the main station. The louder voice has been stealing the show with its constant emergency broadcasts because that's what it does. It's programmed to find problems, to anticipate danger, to keep you on high alert. Every notification becomes urgent. Every pause in conversation means something's wrong. Every delayed response triggers a cascade of worried thoughts. This voice is exhausting because it never rests. It's always scanning, always preparing, always defending against threats that usually aren't even there. But underneath all that noise, there's been another voice speaking steadily. Not whispering, speaking clearly. You just couldn't hear it over the static. This deeper awareness doesn't need to shout because it's not operating from fear. It's the part of you that knows how to breathe when you're not thinking about breathing, that knows how to heal a cut without your conscious involvement, that wakes you up 1 minute before your alarm without checking the time. This quieter voice was never actually quiet, you just couldn't hear it over the noise. It's been there in every moment of unexpected calm, every instance where you knew something without knowing how you knew it, Every time you felt suddenly okay even when nothing had changed. Think about those rare moments when the mental chatter stops. Maybe you're watching a sunset, or a child laughing, or you're so absorbed in something you love that time disappears. In those moments, you're not trying to be peaceful. You just are. That's this other part of your mind, the one that's always been connected to something larger than your daily concerns. The relief comes when you realize you don't have to fix or stop the noisy voice, just tune into the other station. You don't have to fight the static or make it go away. Fighting it just creates more static. Instead, you simply adjust the dial, finding the clearer signal that's been there all along. The emergency broadcast keeps playing, but it doesn't have to be the soundtrack to your life. Remember that email that started this whole spiral? When you tune into the deeper frequency, something interesting happens. You still see the email. You still notice the tone, but you're not immediately swept into the story-making machine. There's space to simply observe. Oh, there's an email. My colleague used fewer exclamation points than usual. My mind wants to make this mean something. From this calmer frequency, you might realize your colleague is probably just busy, or tired, or dealing with their own static-filled mental broadcast. You respond simply, clearly, without the 3 drafted versions and the underlying apology for existing. You handle what needs handling and move on, because the deeper voice isn't interested in manufacturing drama from neutral events. This is what it feels like when that deeper awareness becomes your home base throughout the day. You're not floating above life in some detached spiritual bubble. You're fully here, fully engaged, but you're not at the mercy of every passing thought. The static station keeps broadcasting, that's what it does, but you're not required to listen. The freedom comes in knowing you can always return to this calm frequency, no matter what's happening around you. Stuck in traffic, the static station will want to calculate how late you'll be, whose fault this is, what you should have done differently. The deeper voice simply notices, here we are, stopped on the highway. Nothing to do but be here. Challenging conversation with your partner. The static creates arguments before they happen, defends against accusations not yet made. The deeper awareness stays present to what's actually being said, responds from clarity rather than reactivity. Sunday night, thinking about Monday. The emergency broadcast previews every possible stressor, every unfinished task. The calmer frequency reminds you that Monday hasn't happened yet. That right now you're simply here, simply breathing, simply okay. This isn't about positive thinking or pretending problems don't exist. It's about recognizing that most of our suffering comes not from what's happening, but from the story the static station is telling about what's happening. When you tune into the deeper frequency, you handle what's real and let go of what's imagined. You respond from wisdom rather than worry, from presence rather than projection. The most amazing part, this isn't a skill you need to develop or a state you need to achieve. That calm, clear frequency is broadcasting right now. It's been broadcasting your whole life. All we're doing is remembering how to tune in, how to adjust the dial when we notice we've been listening to static. In the meditation that follows, we'll practice this tuning in together. Not by trying harder or thinking more clearly, but by simply allowing ourselves to notice which station we're listening to, and gently adjusting the dial when we're ready for something more peaceful. If you'd like more teachings and guided practices like this, you can like the video and subscribe. And now, we'll move into a short guided meditation. Let yourself settle into this moment. There's nowhere else you need to be right now. Nothing that needs fixing or figuring out. Allow your body to find its comfort. Shoulders releasing. Jaw softening. Let your breath come and go naturally, without trying to change it. Notice the sounds around you. The hum of life continuing. Notice how you can hear these sounds without needing to judge them or push them away. They're just there, like weather. Now bring your attention gently inside. Notice if there's any mental chatter happening. Any commentary or planning or reviewing. This is the static station, doing what it does. You don't need to stop it. Just notice it's there. Now see if you can sense something else. Something quieter. The part of you that's noticing the chatter. The awareness that can observe thoughts without being swept away by them. This is like adjusting the radio dial. You're not turning off the static. You're just tuning into something else that's also here. Rest your attention on your breathing. Not controlling it, just noticing the gentle rhythm that continues without your effort. In and out. Your body knows how to do this. This knowing, this quiet intelligence that breathes you, that beats your heart, this is the deeper frequency. It's always here. Always steady. Always calm. When you notice your mind creating stories or problems, just gently return to the breath. Like adjusting the dial back to the peaceful station. There's nothing you need to achieve here. Nothing to get right. You're simply practicing remembering what's always available. Let yourself rest in this quieter awareness. The part of you that doesn't need to comment on everything. The part that's content to simply be here. Simply breathing. Simply present. Stay here as long as feels good. And when you're ready, let your eyes gently open, bringing this calm frequency with you into whatever comes next. Thank you for practicing with us today. If you'd like, there's a link to a free digital copy of ACIM in the description. And if this video resonated with you, please comment. I am grateful. Thank you for taking this time to tune in, both to this practice and to that deeper frequency within yourself. As you move through your day, remember that the calm station is always broadcasting. You can adjust the dial anytime you notice you've been caught in the static. Be gentle with yourself as you practice. This is how we find our way home.